The only game that from this series that isn't British. And I'm asking for Yorkshire tea. I'm fading fast here, Mr. Secretary.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer.
He looks it.
And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
I'll hold you to that, Elmer.
Well then, where should we begin?
Let's ask how we ended up on Mira first.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations.
And neither of them was us.
Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
Pretty dire. And we're what's
I
left.
still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived.
That's an interesting tidbit.
So yes, Project Exodus.
Remember that for later.
Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission. Find a habitable planet and settle there.
So we packed up our things and left the planet.
We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat.
Leaving the ship behind.
Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government.
You've done a bang-up job?
Basically, making it a sustainable city.
So let's address the... What's this Blade that I keep hearing about?
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth.
Ooh.
Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
The Lifehold.
Take a look at this.
Aha.
The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
And that's how you found me. You were looking for parts of it. And registration. I am interested in Blade. I am interested in the effort. Let's question.
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation.
Oh, this isn't about
We also
Blade.
ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand.
We are at the
As
administrative
the
district.
caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
Like restrooms.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir.
More walking.
Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Story mission. Chapter 1. Nagi is our client. Take a guided tour of the administrative district with Lynn and Elma and learn more about life as a member of Blade. Press down on the right analog stick to display the navigation panel in the bottom right of the screen. This will show the objectives of your currently tracked mission, etc. Track missions from the main menu, Missions. You can press left and right on the D-pad to toggle the navigation panel's category. Categories are unlocked as you advance the main story. For now, we just have a story mission. As you explore the administrative district, think about what sort of life you'd like to lead here in New LA. Take all the time you need. I'll be right here whenever you're ready. And I'll zoom in the camera a bit. There we go. So we've got this foyer, a lounge and a kitchen, the briefing area, and down here, what looks like empty hangars. Wonder what goes in them. This right here is the only loading screen in the entire game. Believe it or not.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah, Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that Skell. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
My thoughts exactly, Lynn. That's a very good depiction of the weight. Yeah, I'm gazing
Now
longingly
this
too.
guy gets it. Aren't they just the coolest? Just everything about them. The lasers, the force fields, the bipedal and vehicular transformations. You ever have that dream where you're inside one and it's just transforming over and over and over?
Perhaps.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't normally show this to people, but I've been working on some Skell fanfiction. Hold on, I'll just pull it up here 1 sec.
Lynn?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Stay on task, girl.
Originally, Skells were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats.
But show me that fanfiction later.
It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far so fast without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells.
Hint, hint.
And even then, you need a license.
Hint, hint.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around.
The
You
Skells?
can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria.
Oh,
The
management.
details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the Mission Control Board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
Blade Concourse is the name of this long concrete stretch where that Skell was treating as its catwalk. Quite a sight. Alright, zoom the camera back out. Mission control. Ooh, I spy a devil.
So this is Mission Control.
Quite the console. Looks
We
like
don't
my
have
monitor.
a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway?
You are.
We also have the Scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Not as charmingly as you.
Hey!
Oh. Mailblade has given us the text prompt. How in the heck am I supposed to pull off this job for myself? It's madness. Madness! Ooh. You will be avoided for now. And over here?
Ta-da! The Blade Scout console.
Looks
When
the
the going
same.
gets tough, the tough go to the Scout console. You know, to get tougher.
Let's party.
If you do
Up.
end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one Blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you're ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
Lynn, I'm barely holding it together here, girl. And I've got a better one for you. You can't spell blades without lads. Go here if you want to bring in a little extra help from online. Assuming you have Nintendo Online. Can we open this? Yes, we can. This small container. What do you have?
Just serves to make me
That's true on
stronger.
any planet.
We leveled up, and we got credits. And we got a survey rating from that. Whatever that is, we'll figure that out later. Another text prompt as we go by.
Hey.
Yep. We got an achievement for that. Crafty info lover. Alright people, remember that each of us bears the weight of humanity's very existence upon our shoulders. No pressure, right? Anyway, these terminals, we passed by them earlier. What are these about, are they? Miss Lynn?
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
It's a good name.
I won't lie. Most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell?
I want to.
Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
You are telling fibs, Lynn and Elma. Survival isn't top priority.
Hey,
Fashion
am I right?
is. You can tell because you get fashion gear as an option. I'll speak to you as we go by. Hey, Regina. Regina? Is anything troubling you?
Whatever.
Yes, actually. But I'm not going to talk about it. I don't even want to entertain the possibility of it being true. I'm just going to stay positive and hold on to hope, so please don't ask again. I'm sure we'll find out what's troubling her later down the line. Alright, back the way we came. Hey, transport pilot. You're doing God's work over there. Let's go up here. What have you got to say as
Listen.
we go by? Every category of indigent has a weakness to something. For example, flame-based attacks are particularly effective against steroids. That is true, a true fact. They are weak to thermal damage.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chassan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not.
I feel pretty informed.
Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
So he will. And as simple as that, that is mission complete. I'll take that experience and that reward money. These chapters are quick fire now, but that's not going to last. You've just woken up, so you must be feeling pretty hazy. If you're confused about anything, you can check the tips. I bet you'll find some info there that'll be relevant to your situation. Treat them as your basic textbook for surviving on Mirror. Main menu, system, gameplay tips. Ooh, we did just finish a story chapter, didn't we? it's giving us the options to save. Let's do so. And we find ourselves back in front of the tower. So, we got the facts from Elmer and Lynn quite nicely. We've been shown where blades go, where they get missions, all that jazz. We're pretty well informed on what the rigmarole of blade life is. But what about how it is by people who actually do the job, the actual blades themselves? We've got quite a few blades out and about, and I'd like to talk to a few of them as well to get some more informed opinions before we head off. Starting with
Yes?
the lovely lady at the console here, Eleonora. My name is Eleonora, and I serve as Blade's receptionist. If you have any questions about your assignments, you're not a bot, are you? Feel free to ask me anything. Now, to be fair, there are worse bots. Actually, no, they're not. If there is anything that I can do to help, I hope you'll let me be of service. Now, go do your best, Crafty. I expect great things from you. Let's... Wait, I can skip dialogue like that? Okay, I didn't know that. Alma showed us this place. Can you tell us more about it? This is mission control. As a blade, you can... Oh, I see that you hadn't registered as a blade, Crafty. Well, if you do register and join a division, it's awkward that it's got Lynn in the front here. It's really me at the back you should be speaking to. Well, if you do register and join a division, you'll be able to accept missions right here. I understand that you haven't yet decided what role you wish to play here in ULA, and that's fine. But I believe you would make a splendid blade. Is that what you say to all new recruits, Eleonora? Trust me, I've seen off countless blades standing right here. I know talent when I see it. Let's actually have us in the lead here. Actually act like we're asking questions for people. Who else around here looks promising for pestering? You do. Hello, Trevor.
What's wrong?
Maybe we could ask you some questions. Yeah, tell me about the purpose of Blade. The members of each division have their own responsibilities, but mine is primarily guard duty. We've heard divisions talked about a bit here. Lately, there have been reports of dangerous indigents appearing near the entrances to the city. That's why we've sealed the gates and taken a defensive posture. We've tightened our guard to the extent that there's absolutely no chance of an indigent infiltrating the city. But now I hear that Elmer and some new guy already slaughtered the Grexprack that prowled outside the west gate. So I guess we all ought to thank Team Elmer for the successful counteroffensive. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if they learned that there wasn't even a blade who took them down? One other thing I want to show you. They mention there being a lower level, and there is indeed an elevator on the way back here. Here it is right here. Let's try going down. The elevator is ready for use. Wonderful. Nope. Elmer's not gonna let us have it. Until we complete chapters 1 and I think 2 as well, we can only travel around the top level of the administrative district. Which means we only have a certain number of NPCs we can talk to and only a certain number of things we can do until we progress the story and choose whether we want to be a blade or not. Over here, there's a bit of a drinking party going on. What have you got to say? What are you doing here? What does it look like? We're having ourselves a little chit-chat over drinks and poker, trying to figure out how we're going to make fat coin on our next mission. You got a problem with that? Don't get the quaint idea that everyone in Blade is some brainless sheep in Nagi and Vandam's flock. Tomorrow we might all be dead. So anyone who's not milking the moment for every sinful pleasure it's worth is a Class A chump. Pleased to hear Blade pays well. Not everyone here is quite so duty-bound. There are a few more people. Ooh, there's one over here. Got a few greenhorns by his side, and he's pretty grey by comparison. Tell me about yourself. Huh? Ah, yes, crafty, isn't it? Huh, don't be surprised. That was quite obvious. Providing guidance to new blades is one of my duties, so Elmer's report made it straight to my desk. Ooh. People already know about us. I mean, Trevor already knew about us, but not by name, but this guy does. Might I give you one piece of advice? Do what you must to survive. Attack your foes from the back or side, but never head on. Call it cowardice if you like, it's still quite preferable to being dead. He's talking there about positioning around the enemy. Certain arts, like Elmer's Sliding Slinger, deal additional effects when you attack from the side. Slit Edge as well, we deal increased damage from the side. I don't think there's any modifier in the game for being more vulnerable from the front. But a lot of enemies do have frontal cones for their arts.
Yeah?
Up here, hello Bates.
The
Ask
word
about
is-
me? They never report the news in much detail, even when it's from the Director General. I don't know anything about the survivor, but I can't help but wonder. I heard that he worked with Elmer to kill the Grexes that were running wild outside the walls. If he's that good of a fighter, he'll probably end up in Blade. And then, as a fellow recruit, we might end up being rivals. I gotta get a look at this guy, man. I can't let him beat me. Alright. Let me stand in front of you and give you a long look. I'm more interesting than your rifle, mate. Can I emote in front of him? Doesn't look like. Oh boy, I've never emoted in this game before. Let's not waste any time figuring that out.
Working hard?
You're interested about me
That's
as well.
nice to hear.
Director General Charles Sard announced that 10 new crew members have been discovered. Those people are our lost soulmates, the last surviving crew members that came with us from Earth. I'm so glad that they survived. We'll have to say a prayer for our new friends. Boy, are you pure. I wonder if they'll become Blades. If they do, I think I'll invite them to join my team. Okay. And any rumors?
Let's make this happen.
I'm kind of trying to learn as much about Blade as I can. Every division hosts a number of different teams. There's all sorts of reasons why Blade operatives team up. Some teams are intentionally formed to pair Blades with complementary abilities together, while others are just groups of Blades who are free at the same time. But the best teams are the ones like mine. True friends who work well together. Do you know Gus? He's another team leader and he always expresses great admiration for how well my team worked together. I think he's a little jealous. I sure hope that you're able to find a good group of friends to team up with here in New LA. I already like my company. Back here. Quincy? I'm sure I'll get to know you more as well. As you're seeing here, Blade's got a few different types to it. Ooh,
What?
you there. Let's have a look. Let's have a speak to you as well. Hey, Carl.
Great.
Let's ask about the gate. That gate over there. Oh, you mean the one behind us there? That gate over there, the east one? Can you believe how long it's been sealed? This is really getting to be a hassle. You want to know why people can pass through the west gate but not this east one? Well, New LA is just a residential unit of a ship that's been hastily constructed into a city. It wasn't exactly built with ease in mind. The west gate entrance is where the passage to the White Whale's maintenance management area used to be. I'm surprised you didn't know that. Everybody... Oh! You're that newly discovered crew member. You are, aren't you? Hey, welcome to New LA.
What?
Thank you. Anything troubling you? Man, I'm as excited about my next mission as I am my next root canal. Oof. I can tell you I've had one of those, and they are nothing to be excited about. You want to swap? Just kidding. I mean, I'd love to swap, but if Trevor found out that I passed a mission off, he'd tear me a new one. We just spoke to Trevor. He's over there. I can't see him at the moment. Trevor's as strict as they come, and no mistake, you don't ever want to get on his bad side. Huh, interesting. Trevor, have you got anything to say about that?
wrong?
Is anything troubling you? Namely, a person named Carl?
This sucks.
Carl is pathetic. I put him on indigent control duty, and he hasn't killed a single one. Oof. I've already killed several. And I'm not even a Blade yet. If I didn't have so many damn duties of my own, I'd march right up to him and spank him like the insolent child he is. Hey, if you're headed that way, could you give Carl a message for me? He'll be the one loitering out in front of the arms manufacturer's building. I've already spoken to him, actually. Tell him to pull his head out and get his goddamn work done before Trevor has to stick a boot so far up his ass, he'll taste shoe polish for a month. Quincy mentioned a Gus, and I think I saw his name. Yes, there he is up there. I'll chat to you in just a second. I want to speak to you first. Hey, Julius.
Working hard?
Nagi told us a bit about the Earth-Life colonization project. Can you tell us some more? As part of the ECP, I'm just going to use that, interstellar ships took off from a number of cities. However, we don't have any idea what happened to the others. We've been transmitting a signal from Mirror in an attempt to establish contact, but we haven't had any replies yet. It's possible that we're all that's left of humanity. No, ignore that. We mustn't lose hope.
Working hard?
And what's the other thing you want to say? Is anything troubling you, apart from the fact that there are no... We're not getting any contact?
What to do?
The expansion of Frontier Nav hasn't been progressing the way I'd hoped. It's mainly because of interference from indigents, though I suppose we are the ones encroaching on their turf. It's only natural they'd fight to protect it. I just wish we could find a way to install the data probes without having to do such needless fighting. We've not learned about Frontier Nav yet. I wonder what that's about. Ooh, okay. It's very strict, actually. So we can't even go up. We can't even go up and chat to Gus up here. I guess that'll be for later. And we can't jump off either. And we find ourselves having done a full loop-de-loop around. And we're going to cap it off with one last conversation with someone who I spotted on the top here. Hello. Lara Nara. How you doing? Have you heard anything interesting? Were you eyeing me up as I left the copter?
Oh, you!
I heard there was a stalled skell in the residential district, so I went to see for myself. And would you believe it? A real looker of a blade was standing right beside it. He was just my type. So I wonder if I could get Vad to coincidentally assign us both to the same mission. I know exactly who it is you're talking about. Do you want me to let Mr. Doug know that he's got an admirer? That's all the dialogue I wanted to catch up. I do have good reason for doing this. I'm not just wasting time. Every character, every NPC has a spot on this game's affinity chart, which I'll show you right now. As you can see, there's already a few names on there. We couldn't speak to Gus, but we can spot him. And we are going to be filling this up. I just wanted to get a few of these out of the way now. Well, their dialogue is relevant. Some of them, like Eleonora, their dialogue's going to change. NPC dialogue changes throughout the story, and affinity links will change throughout the story as well. As more quests, more missions get completed. So I want to make sure I'm ticking off a few as I'm going. Like this. And very briefly... no, let's not switch back to Lynn. Let's return to the barracks after that. Rather belated. Let's just head inside before I mince my words anymore. Let's go.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Me, please.
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
I don't know. This sounds like conscription to me. Not really.
Ms. Ku, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend?
Don't play games with me.
Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
It was Elmer who saved my life. With all due respect, Mr. Secretary. Not you.
You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
Ah, you drive a hard bargain, Mr. Secretary. I see how you got to where you were. Fine, then. I suppose this job is all perks.
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Coercion, I tell you.
What? You don't remember what a skell is? That gorgeous exoskeleton that just went by? Basically like the most incredible, awesomest super weapons ever? Lasers, force fields, bipedal and vehicular transformations. Sorry, I get so excited whenever I think about it.
If you just accept, that's just it. It is just crystal clear here that this was always Nagi's plan.
I knew you'd make the right choice.
Coerce us and intimidate us until we
Welcome to
say
the
yes.
organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
Coercion, I tell you.